Hello and welcome to English 2. I'm your online teacher, Miss Bear. We have been looking at this module about human rights. We started with Letter from Birmingham Jail, then we read A Genetics of Justice, and now we're looking at the Universal Declaration for Human Rights. And we looked first at the document itself, and then we were looking at Eleanor Roosevelt's speech on the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And so today you guys had some homework and we're going to go over that, but we are going to be continuing to work with Eleanor Roosevelt's speech. Before we get too involved though, I do want to remind you, your end of the unit task, you are going to read 3 different texts during this unit, and then you are going to delineate the argument of each of the texts and analyze how the authors develop a common central claim. And we are going to be working with various tools to help us get to that point, and then you will use that throughout your next task, which will be the end of the module task. So just get ready and make sure that you are keeping that in mind as we go through each of our lessons. So on the agenda today, we're going to be accountable for our homework. We will do a masterful reading. We will do some reading and discussion. We will do another jigsaw. We'll do a quick write, and then we'll close with a little more homework. And you can see specifically we are working with paragraphs 3 through 9 on Eleanor Roosevelt's speech. So let's real quick go over some of our homework. So I want you to turn and talk with a neighbor and discuss each article from the Universal Declaration for Human Rights that Roosevelt mentions in paragraphs 3 through 9. Good job. All right, now I would like for a volunteer to come up and lead that discussion. I'm going to put the masterful responses on the board behind me. Fantastic job. Now let's listen to Eleanor Roosevelt as she reads her speech, and we're going to listen to paragraphs 3 through 9. Make sure that you have your text in front of you and you're ready to annotate. Fantastic job. Now I'd like for you to work with a partner, and I want you to reread paragraph 3 and answer the questions on your screen. Fantastic job. Now can I get a volunteer to lead the discussion? Fantastic job. Now, instead of us just answering these questions and leading these discussions, we're going to do another jigsaw. You guys know that's my favorite anyway. So I need you to form groups of 3, and each group is going to be assigned a pair of paragraphs. So the teacher in the classroom will tell you which paragraphs that you're working with, and I want you to complete the jigsaw tool for your assigned paragraphs. Great job. Now I want you to form new groups of 3. Each group should have a paragraph expert from each pair of paragraphs. And I want you to share and discuss your expert knowledge. Fantastic job. Now I want you to stay with that group, that small group, and I want you to answer the 2 questions that are on your board. Fantastic job. Now I want us to lead a whole group discussion. I want you to discuss your responses. Actually, I think I want to get a couple of groups. So if a couple of groups can kind of be ready to talk about what you wrote for those 2 questions. I don't want to put the masterful responses up yet. So I want this group discussion to happen first. So I want you guys to kind of think through what everybody else is saying around the room, okay? And so I'm going to put these back up and just watch for those masterful responses. And then when you see the masterful responses, then I want someone to lead the discussion about what those masterful responses are and how they either match what you're currently talking about or how you may need to revise what you wrote. You guys did a fantastic job. You see how we just kind of release that a little bit of a time at a time? I hope that you got everything that you needed out of that discussion and that you learned how each of your other classmates can really benefit you in your responses. And I hope that you have lots of notes all over your paper for that jigsaw discussion. So now it is time for our quick write. So if you will get out a piece of notebook paper and answer the question on your board. Delineate Roosevelt's argument in paragraphs 4 through 9 and assess whether her reasoning is valid. Good job. Now I would like for us to give your homework. You should have that argument delineation tool that you used for paragraphs 1 and 2 of Roosevelt's speech. Tonight, I would like for you to delineate or trace Roosevelt's claim and evidence in paragraphs 3 through 9. And I do want you to go ahead and reread or read the rest of the speech. I want you to box in any unfamiliar words, look up their definition, and write a brief definition above or near the word in the text itself. And so you should be working with this argument delineation tool. Just know that you're going to finish that with the rest of the speech when we meet next time. Until then, happy learning.